Frank Haith Show. Brought to you by Pepsi, Don Thornton Cadillac, TTCU, the Credit Union, River Spirit, and St. Francis Health System. And now your host, Bruce Howard.
Hello again, everybody, and welcome to the Frank Haith Show. I'm Bruce Howard, joined by the men's basketball coach at the University of Tulsa, Frank Haith. And boy, you talk about a road trip from HE double toothpicks. Man, that was a tough one. And it, interestingly enough, it wasn't COVID related; it was weather related. 2 tough games on the road, and then not being able to get back home in between, huh?
Yeah, spending a couple days in Dallas after the game, not being able to get back to Tulsa, and finding our way through all that for practice, and then having a flight delayed from Dallas to get to East Carolina, so we didn't get in there till the day of the game to practice. We got there that night, like 10:30, I think, but it made it tough. But I thought our guys competed hard at East Carolina. SMU was first half were good, then they started shooting the ball really well in the second half.
Well, it was going to be a difficult road trip or a difficult week with 2 road games as it was, but then with planes, trains, and automobiles, it was even worse as Tulsa spent 5 days on the road. We'll talk about the Tulsa game against SMU in Dallas when we return on the Frank Haith Show. We're back on the Frank Haith Show, and Coach, you got a little momentum coming into the SMU game, the road victory against South Florida. You're back on the road for games 3 and 4 in a row on the road, but you're taking on an SMU team that very competitive here. It was a great game here, obviously, and they had a chance to win. Now you're looking to win it on the road. Yeah,
which they haven't. I don't think they've lost a home game all year, so they're really good in their building. Their student section is right behind us, and they're very into the game, should I say. So it's a tough place to play, and I thought our guys, we were ready to play to start that ball game.
Yeah, absolutely. It was a good start for the Golden Hurricane. TU taking on SMU, one of their rivals, obviously, in the American Athletic Conference. And for the Hurricane, looking for their second straight win on the road. And SMU coming in, obviously, with a very good record in second place currently in the American Athletic Conference. And there's a nice drive to get things underway. Anthony Pritchard.
Yeah, Anthony, really, really nice read. The ball screen covers well. And this is something that plagued us throughout the whole 2 road games is the turnovers. There was a turnover right there that led to a buckets.
Yep, and here's Uriah Horn, who had a really good game for you.
Inside out, our bigs, we had some plays East Carolina we didn't make like that, but that was a good play right there by Nikita.
Marcus Weathers goes inside, and Nikita, boy, you see his arms in the air, that he's done a great job of walling up, huh?
Yeah, and this is something I think Nikita in the future is going to be really, he can step out and shoot the ball a little bit, and he gets more and more confidence, but it's good to see him play well.
Konstantinovsky making it an 11-10 game. Now you see it's 13-10, but now it's all tied up with that nice jump shot by Ladavius Drain.
Good sharing of the ball there by Uriah, and nice sit-down 3.
And again, you get the steal. And a little 3-on-1 break. It'll result in an open 3-point jump shot.
Just good passing the ball. Really good passing the ball right there.
The assist to Curtis Haywood, and Tulsa has the lead at 16-13. Again, SMU's made a little bit of a run there, a 10-0 run, and boy, that's a great play by Nikita Konstantinovsky.
Yeah, good follow and tip dunk right there by Nikita.
So the Hurricane knocking the lead down to 5, but now as you can see, it goes back up to 10 on that basket by Michael Weathers. And again, Uriah Horn.
Nice mid-range shot. And I think Uriah's had a couple of those this trip on the road where he's made a couple of those, and there's another shot fake set up for another wide open 3.
Goes sideways, stays behind the line, makes it 28-24. And that's a good move. He doesn't step inside the line. He steps sideways to make it a 3, right?
Yeah, great awareness by Uriah, and obviously he's a really good shooter.
Darian Jackson, speaking of shooter, he has improved his 3-point jump shot immensely.
Yeah, he's this year is like just finally came together for him, and obviously he's shooting the ball well.
And then you see the halftime score. You're right in there at 30-27, even though you're not shooting the ball well.
Yeah, but our defense is keeping us where we needed to be. I know they shot 43%, but 26, we know they're a 3-point shooting team. And we did a great job at that point in time going to 3-point line.
And the Hurricane actually doing a nice job from 3-point during that first half to help keep them in the ball game. And you can see that it's 33-30 after that jump shot to start the second half.
Yeah, and we got off to a decent start here, beginning to start the second half, when we thought we could go inside against them, and that was I don't know, maybe the only bucket we got, but we felt like we could go inside on those guys when they went to the small lineup.
Yeah, and that was the high water mark. You got it to 33-32 right in there, but all of a sudden SMU just goes on this huge run, sparked by, they got their three-point shooting going with Vandemel.
Yeah, and that was just the, penetration, and and they kick back out, and and that's what usually what happens when you rotate to the ball.
And you can see that they went on quite a run, and Sam Griffin able to stop the run, and there's a nice steal and layup for Anthony Pritchard.
Yeah, and good trap there right across half court.
And so the Hurricane knocking the lead down and still battling, never gave up a fight in this game, did
No, and then that was a tough shot by the kid Weathers, but I felt like, our kids really continued to compete. They got going shooting the ball, and we fought to the end of this ball game.
Well, and you'll see here, Weathers going inside, getting stripped and blocked, and back the other way you come.
Yeah, again, there's Jiraiya. Nice attack and one.
So he gets that one, and he'll get the free throw, and he makes that one. And, anytime you're 6, 7, 8 minutes to go and you can knock it down near 15, you still got a shot at it.
Still got a shot. You guys still got to keep fighting, keep getting after it. And there's a loose ball. I think I told you, Pritchard's our floor burn guy. And good job there getting us another possession, and nice finish for Sterling.
Sterling Gaston Chapman with that basket. And here's Pritchard fighting inside and getting it off to Horn for the shot, and then all of a sudden, 3.5 minutes to go, you're down by 13.
Another pass by Jiraiya to Pritchard for a layup there, and 13-point lead, as you said, and just a good drive by Sterling.
That one goes, and the foul. And the Hurricane again knocking it down to 13 on several occasions, but never able to get any closer than that. And your final score was 75-61. Obviously, SMU shot the ball better in the second half than they did in the first half, and you pretty much stayed flat with your shooting.
We did. We didn't. We just didn't shoot it as well. The three-point shooting cooled off. I think we made 6 threes there in the first half, and you give them credit. Their defense got better. But I think the turnovers really was what hurt us.
Well, the Hurricane led by Jiraiya Horn with 24 in the game, but they fall to SMU, and then we'll talk about it in a bit. TU ends up staying in Dallas for a while. We'll explain after this timeout. We're back on the Frank Haith Show, and just by way of explanation, the Hurricane going on the road, they expected to come back home and then go back on the road to East Carolina, but Coach, because of all the weather, you stayed in Dallas. SMU was nice enough to let you practice in their gym, but it's a long road trip, isn't it?
It's a long road trip. We had to get our clothes washed, and because you're not prepared to do that, but the highway patrolman along the way said it wouldn't be smart for us to drive back to Tulsa. The weather was really bad going towards this way, so we ended up staying on the road and leaving the next day I think we stayed 2 days there.
Right.
And going after that to East Carolina.
Well, and the other part was, hard to get a plane out of Tulsa during those really, really nasty moments weather-wise. So the good thing is you arrive in Greenville, North Carolina, and here's Tulsa against ECU, a rematch of an earlier game that was an ECU 2-point victory, and early on a good drive by Darian Jackson.
Yeah, good pace coming off that ball screen by DJ. I thought Ray had a really good start here in this ball game, going and attacking, and we had some good passing earlier. And
usually it means a good thing when Ray Dogu gets going early in a game like this.
Yeah, we needed him, to do that. We felt like we can get inside, and it helps our perimeter game when he scores.
Tristan Newton ended up being the star of the game for ECU, and that was his first 3-point jump shot, and it's a 10-4 ball game in favor of ECU. Ladavius Drain continues to hit some from the outside for you, and that helps, ties the game eventually.
Yeah, we cut it to 3, and then this one does, I think.
Yeah, I'm sorry, that was Curtis hitting it. Now
it's Curtis, now that's Drain right there that ties the game.
Yeah, good to see. Good to get 3-pointers out of guys you don't normally get a whole lot from.
Yeah, and we're starting to shoot the ball better, and I think, with some of our injuries and things we got going on, our 3-point shooting has got to be a big part of what we do.
And the Hurricane, after that shot by Vance Jackson, down by 15-10. And that's a really nice pass.
Yeah, good pass by DJ, and I love to see Ray when he is definitive in going up and scoring without hesitation.
And there's another Ray Idowu highlight. Goes with the left hand, knocks it down to a 1-point game, and now you take the lead.
Yeah, nice pass by Jariah and good finish by Ray.
That's what they call the slip, right?
Yeah, just space on a ball screen.
And so you end up with the lead at 16-15. Moments later, Jariah Horn, and look at that emotion on Idowu's face. But Jariah Horn makes a shot from outside. Now you're back up again by 1.
Yeah, it kind of went back and forth here for a little bit until we got control here late in the half. But you talked about DJ's shooting. He hit a couple. I think he hit 3 threes this game.
And again, you got very good performance out of Curtis Haywood. He makes another 3 for you, and you're up by 3 again.
Yeah, it's good to see down the stretch here with, we lose Pritchard early in this ball game. It's good to see Curtis, because he's got to play a lot of the point for us now.
Well, now it's 25-24, but back comes Sam Griffin, and he too is going to have to take a little bit of the load on that point guard position with Anthony Pritchard out, and that's a nice shot by Sam.
Real good shot, and we needed Sam to get going here. I think here late in the half he hits a couple threes that we need. We need more production out of him. And you talked about it earlier. It seems like some games when Dry's doing well, we need both those guys going.
Yeah, absolutely. And that time Sam drains another 3, and there you see Tulsa leading at halftime, 36-34. Your defense was really terrific, but your shooting was off the charts, 68%. Goodness.
68% and then 63% from 3. The thing that's hurting us, Bruce, was our turnovers.
Right. And they were getting some shots off of those turnovers, obviously. And in the first half, you did have the 7 for 11 from 3-point, and now you're going inside. Man, that is a very hard shot, and he got it to go. Jariah with a terrific play.
Yeah, we went to Jariah in the post here a little bit because we needed him to get more shots. He had only taken, I think, 1 shot there in the first half.
And that one makes it 41-37. You got the 4 and 5 point lead, but you just couldn't inch it out any further.
Well, we had a couple miscues. I think Ray on a slip bobbled the ball out of bounds, and we had that 5 point lead and could have taken it to 7, and then we missed a wide open 3. I mean, those plays ended up hurting you, and then, then we started, the live ball turnovers. I think they scored 23 points off our turnovers.
And that shot gives them a 4-point lead at that point, but then Darian Jackson, and now we're starting to get down the backstretch a little bit. Darian Jackson, this was an important 3 because you'd gone a while without scoring.
Yeah, and it cuts it back to 1 possession game.
And now, as we go down the backstretch, you see East Carolina has inched it back out, and that was a tough shot at the shot clock buzzer, and that made it a 7-point lead, but you didn't give up. Here comes DJ again.
No, he just good drive, good fierce drive, and good finish.
And the Hurricane knocking it down to 5. Darian would make a free throw here moments later after getting fouled, and that would knock it down to 4 with, as you see, just under 2 minutes to go, and you're right in the fight. Speaking of Darian, he'll have another opportunity here to
good roll up 3, no hesitation. We haven't seen that out of Darian in his career, and that's big.
This is a tough situation. You have 34.6 to go. You're down by 1. Do you foul or don't you foul? That's the big question.
We wanted to get a steal early on. We wanted to trap him, but without fouling right away. And then we ended up, playing it out.
And as you can see right here, Newton will make, I think this is a pretty well defended play, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. He kind of pushed off a little bit there, but they call that the D-way, and it's a really good shot.
Well, with 5.4 seconds to go, you end up being down by 3. Unfortunately, the missed free throw as they do foul, but you get the ball back here.
Yeah, we get the ball back on that out of bounds, and then we didn't execute, and then you had this scrummage here at the end.
Yeah, that
was disappointing.
Yeah, it was disappointing. It was unfortunate. There was a punch thrown, a open hand punch thrown, and no need to get into all of that necessarily because it was calmed down by the 2 coaches, but East Carolina wins the game, and that's the most disappointing part, I'm sure.
It is, and you look at the stat sheet, and we won everything other than the turnover march. I mean, the points off turnover and second chance points, that's what did us in.
Well, the Golden Hurricane falling at East Carolina, finishing out the regular season, though, at home. We'll be talking about what's coming up this week when we continue, but first, our feature segment coming next on The Frank Haith Show. Welcome back to the Frank Haith Show. And Coach, on our feature segment, we're going to talk about the Unity Walk, which was tremendous this past year. But even a couple of years ago, it was you planted the seed. It was your idea to do a Unity Walk with your team 2 years ago. Tell us about that.
And we called it the Unity Walk because of the climate in our country at that time and the things that were going on. And and I wanted our guys to learn something about something that happened in this community over 100 years ago. And that was the Black Wall Street. So it was a combination of two things. And I thought it was a time to teach and help during the pandemic, a time to teach with our young people.
Absolutely. And so the basketball team had their Unity Walk in 2020. And of course, on the 100-year anniversary of the Tulsa Race Massacre, the entire athletic department got together, led, of course, by the basketball team. And we had another Unity Walk, and that was this past spring. So let's take a look at a report from Morgan Uber from the American Athletic Conference about the Unity Walk.
Welcome into the American Studios. I'm Morgan Uber. For Tulsa student athletes, history isn't just learned in a lecture hall or in books. History is right down the street, a history marred by violence and racial injustice. The Tulsa community offers an eye-opening opportunity at learning, reflecting, and unifying. Unifying moments are often the result of a great tragedy. This time was no different. 100 years prior, Tulsa, Oklahoma was home to one of the greatest American tragedies known to history.
You don't see it in history books, which is why I don't feel that I learned about it.
Before even coming to Tulsa, I didn't really know about the Tulsa Race Massacre.
Nobody never told me how it all just disappeared or why is there so much little left.
In Tulsa's Greenwood district, Black Wall Street was one of America's most affluent African-American communities. It was brought down on May 31st, 1921, in a racially fueled violent attack.
For it to all be taken away in moments because of hatred, it was just sad to see that all that prosperity came crumbling down.
In 2020, amid present-day racial tensions, men's basketball coach Frank Haith recognized an opportunity for his team.
We wanted to do something to create awareness, but a unity, and we called it Unity Walk 2 years ago.
1 year later, Tulsa Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Committee, led by Sinead Neely, decided it was time to unify the entire athletic department.
My thought was, let's get everybody on board. So I reached out to Coach Haith and said, this is great. Are you all planning to do this for a second year in a row? He said yes, and I said, well, let's make it bigger. Let's get everybody involved.
In the middle of July, 100 years after the tragedy, Tulsa athletes and staff started a nearly 4-mile trek to the historic Greenwood district.
I just remember looking back and thinking that is a small glimpse of what unity looks like.
Once we got down there, we stopped at Vernon AME Church and had the pastor there, Pastor Turner, address our group.
3 churches! We needed to see that, and we needed to see that candidly and up close and truly learn about the community that we play for.
Now, for Tulsa student athletes, understanding history affects more than just their own future.
I guess we're just trying to show that that stuff is still relevant.
Taking that first step to become aware and actively try to do away with those issues is a huge deal.
For more on the Tulsa Race Massacre and future plans of the Greenwood District, visit tulsa2021.org.
We're back on the Frank Haith Show, and we get ready for the final week of the regular season at home. Game against Wichita State certainly is very important, Coach, because it's positioning, and you have a chance maybe to catch those guys.
Yeah, we do. They're right above us in the standings. Obviously, you have a win over them. Going into this down stretch here, you may be able to jump them one spot. It's all about positioning yourself in the conference tournament, and guys, that's another season. We're trying to. We got 2 games here to get ourselves to be playing our best basketball going to the conference tournament.
And then on Sunday, it's senior day, so that's important. That'll be emotional against UCF, and we urge all fans to come out and say thanks.
Yeah, we got 5 seniors: Jariah, Darian, Ray, Ladavius, and who am I missing? Curtis.
Curtis, yeah.
So
Missing
5
one.
seniors, and those guys have dedicated a lot to this program and this community. And so hopefully our folks come out and wish them well.
Well, it should be a great week of Tulsa basketball as the Hurricane against their traditional rival Wichita, and that's on Wednesday. And then Sunday afternoon, the Golden Hurricane taking on UCF in the finale of the home season. Coach, thanks and good luck this week.
Appreciate that.
That'll wrap it up on the Frank Haith Show. I'm Bruce.